Okay, this is Attorney Vince Davis. We're back. The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. Cynthia, what did you think about that last caller?
I think I hear these types of stories a lot, and I hate how they put us in positions to have to figure out what to do. And like she said, she had to give up 2 for adoption instead of offering us services or help to mend our family. You know what I'm saying?
So she gave up 2 for adoption, and the other 2 she still doesn't have in her custody?
She has 5 total, and she said 1 has autism, and there's a lot of abuse, it sounds like. I believe she said there was sexual abuse as well. And so for protection, she gave up 2 for adoption. And the other 3, I don't believe are in her custody right now.
Okay, I hope she calls tomorrow and I hope we can help her.
Me too.
Let's take another call right now. Let's go to Raven. Raven from Los Angeles. Raven, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Raven.
Okay, hi. Yes, I'm from Los Angeles, and I want to tell my story. So, my kid was taken away from me for drugs, and I kept getting clean, and I kept relapsing, and then they went back into my file because I was in the system, and I had prior prostitution cases and things. They terminated my reunification services, and then they closed my case. They told me in a year I can come back. I still have my parental rights. They told me in a year I can come back to file a 388 to get my kid. So I did above and beyond. Like, I went above and beyond. I did everything, even more than what I was supposed to do. They denied my 388. And the foster family has a legal guardianship over my child. And now they're giving me a problem with seeing my kid. I went to I reached out to everybody in California for help, even to some affordable attorneys, because I don't want my son to be adopted out. My case still my son was removed from my parents in 2017. They sent me to the Torrance DCF office, and everybody I had words with the supervisor. Everybody in the office was against me, and they closed out my case. I want my son back, and I'm willing to do whatever I have to do. Me filing 388, and they keep denying it. I don't know where that leaves me at.
Well, what you should do is, if you've filed a really good 388 with the help of an attorney, what you can do is you can file a notice of appeal and appeal that to a higher court. Now, if you've done everything that you are supposed to have done, and you're still having your visitation with your kids, and things are going relatively well, you should be able to either get more liberalized visitation with your child or children, and or get them back eventually. Generally, when your children are put into a permanent plan of legal guardianship, that leaves you an opening in the future to get the children back. You have to be careful, though, in the future. Sometimes legal guardians decide they want to adopt because you haven't gotten the children back. So if they move to terminate your parental rights, that's another thing you're going to have to fight. Hey, Raven, I want to thank you for calling and thank you for listening to our show. Please call us in a few weeks and give us an update. Right now, let's take a call from Jasmine in San Bernardino. Jasmine, did you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
I had a question, but a story as well.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the story is basically this. My children were taken by CPS. Thankfully, with the help of your law firm and Ms. Denise Attican, my children were returned home on September the 9th of 2019. Okay, so everything's going fine. Everything's beautiful. In April, my daughter began to become very ill. So I thought she began to become very clumsy. She was falling all the time. She stopped using her right hand. like to the point where I would say, hey, baby girl, here, take your cup. And I would hold her left hand and see if she would reach, and she just wouldn't. Long story short, in May, we find out that my baby has something called Rett syndrome. And that's a very severe neurological disorder that affects pretty much every aspect of your life. At 2.5 years old, my baby girl no longer walks. She no longer talks. She no longer eats on her own. I have to feed her through a feeding tube 5 times a day. My baby girl has seizures. She's epileptic now. This is all a part of the condition that she's diagnosed with. She also, what else? She has insomnia, so she sleeps maybe 3 hours here and there, like not 3 hours straight, but maybe 20 minutes here, 45 minutes there, and I'm right here with my baby 100%. So if she's not asleep, that means I'm not sleeping. I have 5 kids.
Well, Jasmine, let me ask you something. What did the doctors say caused this condition?
They said that there was no cause of it. It's very random and very rare. In the United States, there's only 1,000 births with it, and in the whole world, there's only 10,000 births with Rett syndrome, and it doesn't show up until the child is, a little bit older, on 18 months to, 24 to, the latest is 3 years old. And my baby girl, it just showed up in April. And so while we were at the hospital, the doctor is telling me, hey, it's okay to mourn because your best days are behind you. Like, he was just very, honest, I guess, very blunt. And so, I'm thinking, Mr. Davis, how can I mourn and think back on the memories of my babies when they were stolen by CPS? They had my kids for almost 2 years. And I don't know if you remember, I'm pretty sure you might if I told you my case is the one with the twins that were abused in Olive Crest. One of my twins had a broken arm in 2 places. My other twin had the broken leg. And so now my baby is, in this condition. That's part of the story. The second part of the story is after getting discharged from the hospital, my baby was given a respite nurse. And the respite nurse, I noticed my baby girl had a scratch in the middle of her back. So I then put cameras in my home, because if I didn't have recordings and all of the evidence that I had with the previous case, I wouldn't have my kids now. And that's a fact, because they really tried to slam my family. So when my baby girl had that scratch in her back, I now have a nonverbal child. I put cameras in my home. I go grocery shopping one day, come back home. My son tells me that the nurse had kicked him and pushed him or something like that. And so, I ask her, and she tries to make light of it. Oh, I was just playing. I pushed him up against the bed. And so I then review the camera, and, after she leaves, I review the whole day of her being at my home, and she was very rough with my 2.5-year-old, who is, 30 pounds and can't do anything. Like, she has a neurological disorder, so she does not know how, she can't be still. Mm-hmm. She's gonna, throw her arm around. She's gonna kick her leg. She's gonna, if she's laying down, she's gonna pull her whole upper body up as if she's doing a crunch. She has no control over these things. So if you know these things, you prepare for these things. And normally she does when I'm here. So she'll put, like, the weighted blanket over her arm. She'll put my baby's legs in between her legs, as I showed her to do, to, support these things, to prepare for these motions as you're trying to feed her and give her medicine, change diapers, and so on. So this particular day, she doesn't do any of that. She's, like, dragging my baby across the bed by her legs. She's, like, slinging my baby, like, pushing my baby's head down like a basketball with this upper body, as I was telling you how she pulls her body up, she's just pushing my baby's head back down as if it's a basketball. Like, she was so incredibly just disgusting with my child, and I was not there. And mind you, I already went through an abuse situation with my children. Right. So when I saw this, my mind is immediately going a million miles per hour. I contact the agency, and I let them know, this is what happened. I send them the video. They then fire her. They contact the state board, and they also contact CPS. I haven't been contacted by CPS yet, but I know that it's to come, seeing that the agency said that they would contact them. Mm-hmm.
Well, Jasmine, this is what I'd like you to do. Can you email me the video? I'd like to watch it. I'd like to see if there's something that that we can help you do. Do
Absolutely.
you still have my email address?
I do. I have Miss Denise's email in my phone. I can take yours down and let me grab a pen. 1 second.
While you're grabbing a pen, can I ask how old your children are?
Yes, my oldest son, he's 7. I have a daughter that's 4. My twins are 2.5. Well, actually, they'll be 3 the end of this month. And my baby boy just turned 1 a couple of days ago.
And are they in your care right now?
They're all here with me. Yes, ma'am. The case is 100% closed.
Okay.
Cynthia, my firm represented her, and we got her kids back. And apparently these things are happening after her case has been closed.
Right, that's what I'm hearing.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, it's V as in Vincent at vwdlaw.com. V as in Vincent at vwdlaw.com.
Okay, I'll send them right away.
Okay, Jasmine, thank you for calling. Keep listening and, give us an update in a few weeks about what's going on, okay? All right. I think my engineer has signaled me. We got to take another break tonight, pay some more bills. This is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. We'll be right back with Cynthia and more callers.